Hey guys, it's Mike from That's Cool Vintage Collectibles, and on this channel we talk about all kinds of vintage collectibles, including sports memorabilia, rock and roll memorabilia, records, guitars, pop culture, other vintage antiques, and more. And on today's episode, we're going to talk about my epic Derek Jeter fail. But there is redemption. Stay tuned. So back in 1997, I had this ticket to see the New York Yankees come into town and take on the Toronto Blue Jays, and the Yankees were always my team. And this was the end of May, it's early in the season, and the Yanks had won the World Series the year before, and were in that great run of teams that just had so many great players. And one of them was Derek Jeter, and he was playing shortstop for the Yanks at that time, and the Yankees had the last infield practice being the visiting team, and we were seated right front row on the third base line, sort of where, say, the infield dirt would meet the outfield grass, somewhere in there. And after the Yankees took their infield practice and batting practice, they were all coming off the field. Jeter stayed out for at least another 10 minutes fielding ground balls, and I always remembered that, being kind of a teenager at the time and a ball player myself, and I thought, wow, there's a guy who is the best player in the league pretty well at this point, and he's out there last taking ground balls and honing his mechanics and all that. I was very impressed by that. And the last ground ball he took, he glanced over his shoulder, and there I was in a Yankee jersey amongst a sea of Blue Jay fans, and he rolled the ball to me. And I missed it. I really did. I missed it. I missed it as much as you could miss a ball. It was flying along actually at a fairly good clip, but it's no excuse. And I reached down, and the front row of the Sky Dome at that time, you're about actually a foot off the ground when you're in the front row. And so when I bent down to get the ball, I kind of didn't realize that I was that far off the ground. It went under my hand. And just poor execution, let me tell you. And I felt every pair of eyes in the stadium at that point, and I just wanted to hide under my seat. I was so embarrassed, and I was so disappointed because I could have got a ball from Jeter, and I just thought, oh, that's pretty bad. That's not gonna, that'll haunt me for a long time. Turns out it was only a couple innings, but I still think about it now, believe it or not. I could still feel that when I think back to that memory. I know what I was feeling. And by about the third inning, when the Yankees were doing their infield right before the inning to start, Jeter fielded a ball and turned around, and he had seen me miss the first one and rolled another one to me. And this time, I got it. This time I got the ball. I didn't miss this time. And I was so happy to get this baseball. It felt so good. And it's the first baseball I ever got at a game, or first real ball. And I was just elated that I got this thing. It was just such a cool thing to get. And it's just a batting practice ball. I guess at one time it was a game ball. I don't know, anything about it. But Jeter rolled it to me, and I got it, and that made a huge difference for me. I was very, very pleased, and so happy that I actually got the ball. And it sits in here with this ticket stub. I kind of keep them together. It's part of the collection of just things that, maybe don't mean anything to anybody else. It doesn't have any monetary value, really, but it sure is an important item for me, and I'm just so thrilled to have it. And Jeter, of course, went on to become such a phenomenal player, and those Yankee teams were so fun to watch growing up, and being one of the only Yankee fans in my area for sure. It was such a fun time. There's a couple other Jeter items I'll show you from my collection. They're not big value, but they're kind of cool. I'm just getting back into sports memorabilia, so who knows, one day maybe something a little bit more exciting will show up. But for right now, I've got these two little pieces, and I'll give you a quick look through what these are. The first piece is a ticket stub from the day that Jeter passed Babe Ruth on the all-time hits list. And that was in 2010 against the Boston Red Sox, and this is the ticket from Yankee Stadium when that happened. I wasn't at this game, but I got this from a collector in Florida, and that's the day he passed Ruth on the all-time hits list. So that's kind of a cool ticket stub to have. Again, it's not a big money item, but it's a pretty cool item, and I quite like that one. The other item I'll show you is a baseball card that Topps made, And on this card, it has some superimposed or photoshopped folks in the background, and you see Jeter at the plate. In the dugout is Mickey Mantle warming up, and in the first row of seats is President Bush coming in for the game. So kind of a cool little thing they did with that card. I just enjoy that piece. It's sort of a bit of a sneaky one, and people who know, but it's a pretty cool card. And so there you go. That's my my Derek Jeter story. Got the ball eventually, got redemption for missing the other one, and that's how that piece ended up in the collection. I want to thank everybody for liking and subscribing to the channel. It's just a quick video today. I'm on the run, but you know, we're over 100 subscribers now, and getting lots of views. So thank you very much for all that, and keep on collecting, and we'll keep it coming.